Go. My mum was one of the nicest people you're ever going to meet. She'd do anything for anyone. Nothing was too much of an ask. She was the best mum anyone could ever wish for. She'd do anything for you, even if it meant she would suffer. She was just one of them sort of people, and I think she was loved by anyone. Everyone sort of loved her, and no one could have a bad word to say about her. And I think that's why she was so popular. I remember when they obviously told me that stuff was getting bad. I come home from football and I walked in and my dad had been crying and my mum had been crying. I could tell that something was up straight away. And my dad sat me down and he said that something had happened, and I thought someone had died or one of my friends had got hurt. And my dad sat me down and he said, "I'm really sorry," and he started crying. And I thought I could tell that whatever it was, it wasn't good. And he sort of stopped talking and my mum stepped in and she said, "I'm really sorry, but I've got cancer." And as soon as you hear the word cancer, at my age, I was only about 15 at the time, I just thought cancer, death, and I thought I was going to lose my mum. And we sort of all sat there and we cried, and it just took a little while for it to sink in really. And then my sister come home and the same sort of thing, they told her, and she was the opposite. She sort of had this positive sort of attitude about it, and it was different, but for her it worked. And I suppose it didn't really sink in until she started to lose her hair, and she was a hairdresser, so she loved her hair, and I helped her shave it off. And I think it was that day that it really sort of started to sink in, because I now had a mum that was bald, and it wasn't normal, and it took some getting used to. And you know, it went on she had treatment, chemo, radiotherapy, and there was good days, bad days, and it got to the stage where we were sort of in this mind where we thought it might have got better. And then she was told that it was in her spine and it wasn't going to get better, it was only going to get worse, and they couldn't cure it. And sort of time went by, and it got to the New Year's Eve, and she had a fall in town, and she went to the hospital. And I remember my dad ringing me, and it was quite late. He said, I'm at the hospital and I'm sorry," and he started crying, and I thought she'd died, and she hadn't. And he said that it's gone to her brain and it's not good, and we're sort of looking at 5-6 months. And I didn't really know what to do with myself. I was upset, I was angry, and I just didn't know what to do. Like, what do you do at 17? You're told that, or 18, sorry, and you're told that your mum's got 6 months to live. And sort of a month later, and it was the night before she died, we was just all sat on the sofa as a family. It was really nice. It was like the Last Supper. We sort of sat there, we laughed, we cried, and we all went to bed, not really thinking that the next morning was going to be it. It was sort of the thing that we thought would never come. And then it did come. My sister woke me up early morning and she said that there's paramedics next door and it's not looking good. I remember I got up and I went into her room, and it was like looking at a stranger. It didn't look like her. She had an oxygen mask and all these paramedics around her, and I remember someone saying about DNR, and I thought, well, why do they need to know about do not resuscitate? She's still got 4 or 5 months left. Like, well, they don't need to know that. And about 10 minutes later, they got onto the ambulance and they went off with the siren on. And I remember me and my dad were following, and we followed them around the corner, and they pulled over. And I thought it was weird because they had the sirens on, and I thought, why are they pulling over if they need to get there quick? Why are they pulling over? And then me and my dad sort of looked at each other as to say, yeah, I think we know why. And my sister rang me and she was crying because she was in the ambulance, and she said, you need to come in the ambulance. So we got in, and I could tell it wasn't good, and I sort of sat down and held my mum's hand, and I heard the words that I've been dreading for so long, and I'm sorry, but your mum's gone. And it was hard. Obviously, it took a while to sink in. But the first thing I thought is I need to tell my granddad. It was his only daughter. I need to tell him. So I got out of the ambulance and I rang him, and he said it happened, didn't it? I said yeah. I was crying, and he said, do I need to come down? I said well, we're actually in the ambulance. We'll come to you. So we drove to his house. We picked him up, and we all went to the hospital together. And then the next few days it was just a bit of a blur. I didn't sleep, and it was a tough couple of weeks. And then I started getting into my fundraising. I wanted to make a difference, and I wanted her to be proud and do stuff that would make her proud. So I started my fundraising, and I hosted all these different events and football matches, golf days, charity balls, and it was good. It helped me deal with a lot of stuff.